Good afternoon, Warren. This is my weekly gratitude garden. It's been a very eventful week. I think a lot to be grateful for amidst all of the hardships. We have had a lot going on starting Sunday with the case of COVID that we were made aware of and dealt with. Went pretty smoothly. We had our secretaries and our nurse jump up and help out with that. I think I talked about that earlier. That was a huge help. Tuesday, we had one of our little ones in fell about 18 inches, so not very far off the ground, and somehow her arm got dislocated and broken, so that was scary, but she's doing okay. Um, Again, the office staff and the nurse were phenomenal. Mr. Newell was great um, about responding quickly and appropriately and making sure the proper care was administered to the student. And um, Nikki was great about calling in and checking in on the family throughout the week, seeing how she was doing, seeing how the little one was doing, and thankfully things seem to be going well at this point. Um, then, of course, Thursday, we had another case of COVID that was related to the weekend that popped up. So we spent a good deal of Thursday working. I spent a good deal of Thursday working through that with our nurse Heather Emerson on the snow day, and again multiple people reaching out throughout the district, actually offering help with that. As a result of that, I'm quarantined until Tuesday. So it's a bummer and definitely a hardship, but to grapple with how to do what needed to be done with a limited office staff. Right now, Nikki is in the office as myself and Gabby, our assistant principal, are both quarantined. And so Nikki is by herself currently due to the circumstances. And the superintendent actually has stepped in today to come down to our school to help out, given that we have one secretary in the building and no administrators. So truly appreciative to have a leader in our district at that level that is willing to take on that kind of responsibility in a moment like this. With especially with everything as well on top of that the high school is dealing with their own, um, you know, issues that they're dealing with in terms of COVID, and then the tragic news of a student who passed away earlier in the week. There's a lot going on in the district, and once again, our community of colleagues and our community in general has stepped up um, and is just phenomenal. People are reaching out from all over to help out and to make sure that the proper care is given and that everything is taken care of. And I wouldn't. It really just time and time again, week after week. I know I sound like a broken record probably at times, but really appreciative of where I work. Um, I've been in jobs where I didn't feel connected to people, where people didn't reach out, where I was just, I was a means to an end. I was, a piece of data in a spreadsheet, um, and that doesn't feel good. Being in RSU 40, I am part of a community. We are all part of a community of connected people. And yeah, sure, as with any community, with any family, there are times where we get frustrated or where squabbles take place, but we work through them and we come out on the other end better for it, and I appreciate that. There's no such thing as the perfect job where adversity and disagreements never ever pop up. I mean, that exists everywhere you go. Um, so it's really a matter of how does your work culture handle those things. Um, and I feel really great about the way RC40 handles things. Um, and I found a quote today that kind of resonated with me a bit. So I figured I'd talk a little bit about that, which was that we basically the gist of it was talking about how we cause more pain and misery to ourselves up here than anything out there does. Um, in other words, it was referencing anxiety. Anxiety tends to, we get on ourselves, we get in our own heads, we get anxious about things, we get fearful of things, and the way we play those things up in our head is typically far worse than um, the actual experience that we are fearful of. I find that is true very often in both my job and personal life when I do get anxious. So I've been working on over the years remembering that. So that when something uncomfortable does pop up, I remind myself that if I just jump in and do it, it's not going to be nearly as bad as if I were to avoid it and just be up here. When you have that uncomfortable conversation that you have to have with a colleague or a family member, you can spend weeks, months, sometimes years uh, thinking about it, stewing about it, sitting up here and just destroying yourself, being stressed, being anxious, being fearful, being uncomfortable, feeling awkward. But if you just jump in and have that conversation, as uncomfortable as it feels, 9 times out of 10, you walk away from it going, feeling so much better having done it, and it not usually does not play out nearly as badly as you anticipate. And sometimes, maybe it does not go well, um, but the necessary um, action happened and took place, and um, you were able to move on. You're able to move forward. You're able to take next steps. You're not stuck. You're not stagnant. So it's been on my mind a lot, thinking about that. Um, and I just, as we near the holidays, and it seems like one thing after another within the last week has been kind of toppling over. It's just a sign that things are going to start getting better. They can only topple for so long before we start picking things back up and rebuilding. The Christmas season's coming, the holiday season's coming, vacation's coming. Everybody will have a chance to kind of unwind, reset, recalibrate. And I really look forward to what 2021 brings, what January brings. I hope everyone has a fantastic holiday season. And just thank you, everybody, for being you. The amount of care and kindness and gratitude, selflessness that I've seen in the last couple of weeks from people, as people are reaching out to help one another and offer help and support one another, has been overwhelming. So amidst all of the hardships, there have been a slew of positives to take away from it. Our community has shown through, and I appreciate that. and look forward to seeing you all next year for my next gratitude garden, as my next one will probably be in January. So appreciate everybody tuning in, and thank you, everybody, for just being you. Hope you have a great holiday season.